Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Sunday haul. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. So happy that you stopped by. And if you enjoy this video, I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button. I do these hauls every single Sunday and open up new PR packages and things that I purchase myself and just do some first impressions and mini reviews. So it's a really fun way to just see what's new in the makeup world. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I have some new things from Colourpop and Lorac and Lime Crime. I also have some new skincare from Revolution Beauty. So lots of fun stuff this week to get into. So I will meet you back here at the end with some first impressions and mini reviews. Hey guys, it's Monday. I just got my orders from Lorac and Colourpop. I had placed some orders during Black Friday weekend, so I picked up the Child palette, and I was kind of bummed that I missed out on it the first time because initially I was like, I don't really need it, and then so many people were raving about it and saying it was one of Colourpop's best palettes in a while, so I decided to get it when they did the restock. And then I also got the Lorac Vintage Glamour palette. I wanted this initially when it first launched, but then I heard that they were going to be doing like 50% off site-wide on Cyber Monday, so I figured it doesn't really make sense to buy it if I know that that sale is coming, so I decided to wait on it as well. And they sent over as a free gift the Alter Ego lipstick in this shade. What shade is this? Nymph. So anyway, let's go ahead and open these up and we'll do some quick swatches. All right, guys, so here's a look at the outside of the palette, and here's the inside. So if you're into green eyeshadows, I think this is so beautiful. You have a green shimmer, you also have this deeper green shimmer, and then 3 green matte shades. You also have a couple of neutrals to kind of anchor your look with if you didn't want to go all green. You also have a gold, which I think pairs beautifully with the green matte shades. And then you have this one right here, which is kind of like a shimmery ivory. So let's go ahead and swatch this one out. All right, guys, so here's the whole palette, and the first shade, I would say, kind of feels a little bit like a Super Shock. I didn't think there were any in this palette, but I'm going to have to double check the website. On the back of the packaging, it just says pressed powder palette, and it doesn't say anything about it, but it just feels a little bit different, and it's a little bit more sheer, kind of like a topper. These other shimmer shades are absolutely stunning. They're so smooth and so buttery, and then all of the mattes, I think, swatch really nicely as well. They feel like Colourpop's normal formula. The only difference I would say between all the mattes is that this one right here has the tiny little glitter particles in it. I don't know if you can see that. The rest of them are all true mattes, and I'm just really, really loving this color story. So I'm excited to play with this one. All right, and then let's move on to the Lorac Vintage Glamour palette. So I'm really excited to see this. I love Lorac's new formula, even better than their old one, and I thought their old one was pretty good. So anyway, here's a look at the outside. It looks just like the box, and here's a look at the inside. This looks so beautiful if you love neutrals and especially cool tones, because I actually see quite a few cool tone shades in here. We have some mattes, not as many mattes. I feel like the matte shades down here are a little bit more warm toned, except for this one at the end, this really deep charcoal gray. But then you have Curtain Call here, Boulevard looks pretty cool toned. This one, I don't know, it might go either way. It could be more of a warm toned actually, but this one, Sequin and Bubbly, these look a little bit cooler. So let's just do a couple quick swatches on my hand, and then I'll show you the whole palette swatched out. I feel like sometimes it takes too long for me to just swatch every single shade, and I don't want to make this video boring for you guys, but I also want you to be able to see the swatches going on live and what they actually look like without just swatching the whole palette. I didn't do that with the Colourpop one just because I feel like Colourpop's formula is pretty much the same across the board. But anyway, these shimmer shades are super stunning. If you haven't seen my video yet on Lorac's new formula, I will link that up above so you can check it out, because I really do a deep dive and do a ton of palette comparisons and everything. So anyway, these shades look absolutely beautiful. And let's do a couple matte shades, and then I'll just swatch the whole palette off camera and then show you what it looks like. What's interesting is it looks like they actually put a shimmer shade, or kind of a satin, I guess, in the middle of this matte row, which usually they don't do. All right, so here's the shade Cinema, and Sunset, and their mattes are just some of the smoothest mattes ever. The mattes I feel like are very similar to their old formula. I think they really improved on the shimmers more than anything, because I think their shimmers now are way more metallic than they used to be and just a little bit creamier and less flaky, but the matte shades just still have that super blendability that are just really easy even for a beginner. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this whole thing and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so here's the palette all swatched out. Sorry I did it a little bit crooked, but anyway, you can see that most of the shimmer shades are really rich and buttery, except for these three right here. They kind of changed a little bit. So these three are more dry. They were a little tougher to pick up out of the pan. They have more of a topper type effect. So we've been seeing brands this year come out with these kind of toppers, which I'm not really a big fan of, just because usually they're a little more sheer, they're a little more glittery and kind of have like more of a scratchy texture, whereas these have that more buttery feel. So just something that I wanted to point out. Also, you know, as far as the mattes go, they are beautiful, super silky and smooth. And then this shade Lavish, which I mentioned looked a little bit like a satin finish in the matte row, is actually a cream shadow. At least I think it's a cream. It felt very similar to one. So I also wanted to point that out. But overall, I think this palette is really, really pretty. And I just quickly wanted to show it next to the Noir palette that came out recently. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell just looking at them. I think I would have to do some comparison swatches, which is going to take longer than what I have time for today. But if you guys would like to see a video, I could definitely do that if you're really interested in this vintage glamour palette. But, you know, just looking at it quickly, I do think some of the shades are going to be similar. Like, you know, some of these lighter pinks kind of look maybe like that one or that one. And then, you know, the deeper grayish tones might be like some of these ones down here. The gold might be similar. So I just wanted to show you guys that really quick. And also their artist edition palette that they also came out with recently. I feel like there may be some dupe shades in this one as well. Again, it's really hard to tell just by looking at them because there's so many shadows going on. But overall, I feel like this one is definitely more on the warm tone side. And then the Soleil palette that they came out with is very warm tone. So I really don't think there's going to be a lot of similarities between these two. I think probably Noir is going to have the most. So if you'd like to see a comparison on that, definitely let me know. Hey guys, it's Tuesday. I just got my Macy's order from Cyber Monday. I got this and I also got a pair of sneakers, which I'll show you in a second. I had a pretty big gift card from my birthday, so you know, there were some good prices on things on Cyber Monday. So anyway, I saw that they had Laura Geller and I've been wanting to try her Spackle Concealer for a while. It just sounds so good. It basically says it has all the benefits of their Spackle Primer in a weightless, medium to full coverage concealer, and it primes and preps the skin by filling in and smoothing fine lines. With a long wearing formula, it covers imperfections but never settles, so you look flawless all day. So I kind of thought the idea of a primer concealer sounded really good, because concealer is kind of like that. Almost everybody has some form of lines under their eyes, even if they, you know, it's just when they smile, and concealers always tend to settle and look terrible. So the idea of something like a primer that'll actually like prime the skin at the same time sounded really good. So anyway, I got the shade Light, and I'll definitely be trying it this week and let you guys know my thoughts at the end of the video. But for now, we'll just swatch it. Hopefully this is like a right shade for me. It looks pretty close. I think the lighter shades, which might have been more like fair, looked too light. So this one looks pretty decent. So let's see. It does have a really nice creamy texture. Very similar to her primer, if you've tried that before. It's almost like her primer, but just with some pigment to it. And yeah, I love how it's going on the skin. It's not looking dry at all. It doesn't seem to be settling in at all, so that's good. But it also doesn't have like that silicone-y feel. It just feels really creamy. So yeah, I think it has pretty decent coverage. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's medium to full. I would say it's probably medium at best. Maybe it's something that you could build up to full or something. So anyway, definitely excited to test this one out. And then the sneakers that I got from Macy's are these from Vintage Havana. So they basically look like Golden Goose dupes, but without the $500 price tag. I want to say they were around $90, I think. And I did get a good deal on them because of Cyber Monday. And they do have the laces with the writing on them, but they do send you just plain white if you want to swap those out. And they're the type of sneaker that you don't have to tie; they're just slip on. But I just thought these were really, really cute. They come a little bit distressed. They don't look super dirty like the Golden Goose ones do, but there's a little bit of like, it almost looks like it's not pure white. They look a little broken in. So anyway, I just thought those were adorable, and I didn't want to pay $500 for the Golden Goose versions. So anyway, I thought these were super cute, and they do have a bunch of different colors. They have ones with like leopard print and snake print and all that stuff. So I'll link these exact ones down below, but you can obviously browse the other selections as well because they have quite a few. I also just got my order from Lime Crime, and they were having the most amazing Cyber Monday sale. And as of today, which is Tuesday, they still are having amazing deals on their site. I don't know if it's going to continue through Sunday when you guys are watching this video, but I'll link everything down below. And if they're still having their site-wide sale, it's definitely a great time to pick up some things. So I ended up getting their software blushes, and these are cream blushes. I've heard a lot of great things about them, and they had an orchid shade that I thought looked so beautiful. So I definitely wanted to try those out. I also got a palette, which I haven't seen anywhere else besides their website, and it's their greatest hits palette. So I only have a couple of their palettes, and this includes shades from all of their different ones, like their smaller little Venus palettes, the larger ones. It's kind of a collection of a bunch of different ones, but it looked really pretty all together. And then I didn't order this, but I guess it must have been a free gift that they sent over with 3 mini lip products. So let's go ahead and open these up. I want to start with these blushes really quick. So the shades I got were Virtual Orchid and Zip. So let's open these up. And these are vegan, cruelty-free, and made in the United States. So here's what the packaging looks like. Isn't this beautiful? I think they do an amazing job on their packaging. All right, and then here's a look at the orchid shade. This looks so pretty. I was kind of not into the whole purple blush thing until I saw a bunch of people wearing it, and now I'm like obsessed. I think it looks so beautiful actually on. So here's what that looks like. And this formula feels really nice. It reminds me a lot of those new Milani ones or the e.l.f. Putty blushes. It seems like it's going to be totally non-sticky. It has a really smooth feel, and it seems like it's going to dry down right away. And then this one is Zip, and this just looked like a beautiful nude. And between these two colors, I feel like I don't have these in either the Milani or the e.l.f. So these were a little bit more unique, and that's the reason that I chose them, because I feel like I have so many pinks and peaches in those other lines, and this one is just kind of a little bit different. So here's a look at that color. And that's beautiful too. It's just a really pale nude. It kind of reminds me of my Lorac Tinge blush, which I really love. I reach for it all the time. So anyway, I'll have to test these out during the week and let you guys know my thoughts. All right, so next let's go ahead and look at the palette. So here's what the outside looks like. Again, beautiful packaging. I love this. This one is also made in the USA, cruelty-free and vegan as well, but I'll show you guys the ingredient list. And let's take a look inside. So yeah, I just thought this one was really pretty. It has a nice mix of both warm and cool tone shades. You have these warmer colors down here and here. This brown is like a really warm tone. This one's a little bit warmer. And then you get into some gorgeous cool tones like this one in Bloom, Divine, which is a really light gray, Dreamy, so you have that orchid shade again. This one, Pigeon, is gorgeous, and some of these across the top here I just think are beautiful cool tones. So I like that you have that variety and that mix in here. So what I thought I'd do is just, again, swatch a couple shades on my hand just so we can get a feel for their formula, and then I'll show you what the whole palette looks like swatched out on my arms. So let's start with a couple of shimmer shades. I'm really curious about this one, Pigeon, and also Beam. This looks really pretty. Don't mind my chipped nail polish. I literally just painted my nails yesterday and they're already chipping. All right, so Pigeon felt more like a regular shimmer shade, and that is beautiful. And then this one, Beam, felt more like a topper. So you can kind of see the difference there. This one is a little bit more sheer. It was a little bit harder to pick up than this one was. So there's those two. Let's do a few more. We have Heavenly. This one also feels kind of like a topper. It's very metallic, but also it doesn't pick up a lot of product. And let's do this one, Myth. All right, these two are probably from the Venus XL2, which I do have already. That one is full of these topper kind of shades, which really are not my favorite, but I love the really beautiful kind of pastel mint green and pinks that are in that one. I think it's beautiful. And then here's another shimmer shade, Hail, which is the blue, and that one's a regular shimmer shade again. So you can see how much more intense it is than these topper ones. All right, and then let's just move on to a couple of the matte shades. I want to swatch this one for sure, and I think their matte shades are really beautiful, or I should say the formula. It's really good. What about this mustard one? This one looks interesting. I'm kind of running out of room on my hand, but I mean, they're super, super pigmented, very rich, very velvety. So anyway, guys, let me go ahead and swatch out this whole palette and we'll see what it looks like. All right, guys, so here's the whole palette swatched out. I think this looks really beautiful. I love it even more seeing all the swatches. The only thing I'll say is there's quite a few of those topper shades, and then the rest of the shimmer shades, this blue one, this green that I showed before, this one, and the peach one are all regular shimmers, so those are really pigmented and very easy to pick up. The matte shades are super impressive. I mean, just one swipe and tons of pigment, and they feel really nice and velvety. So overall, I kind of wish those topper shades weren't in here, but I got a really good price on this palette, so I'm not too upset about it. You know, obviously I can make them work. So anyway, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Lime Crime's formula. And then last but not least, we have this little remix kit. It comes with one of the mini velveteens, a mini plushie, and then a mini lip blaze. So let's open these up and take a quick look. All right, so the mini velveteen is in the shade Scene Queen. This looks really bright, but I've really been wanting to try this formula. I've heard great things about it. So if I like it, I'll definitely pick up some other colors. It's super pigmented, like one swipe and you're good to go. And then we have the mini plushie, and this one's in the shade Pink Drink. I'm not sure if this is a liquid lipstick also or if it's a gloss, so let's see. This one, it also feels like a liquid lipstick, but it's kind of a thinner formula. It's a little bit more on the sheer side. And then the lip blaze says it's a butter plus glaze. That's why it's called blaze, I guess. And this is in the shade Emerald. Looks like kind of more of a neutral or mauvey pink. Ooh, that's so pretty. Actually, this formula feels amazing. It's kind of cushiony feeling. I mean, at least putting it on my hand, it has amazing pigmentation. That looks actually gorgeous. I cannot wait to try this one out. Hey guys, it's Thursday. I just got a PR package from I Do Care and they sent over some skincare. We have the Bright Side Up Brightening Vitamin C Serum and also the Mini Meow Trio. It's 3 mini chrome masks. And I Do Care is actually a sister brand of I'm Mimi, which I showed a couple of haul videos ago. I did a whole like Amazon haul with some of their stuff. And also their sister brand of Kaja, which I showed in last week's haul that has the little mini eyeshadow stacks. So let's go ahead and open these up. We'll start with the Bright Side Up serum, and this is vegan and cruelty free. And here's a look at the ingredient list really quick. It has some good stuff in here. We have glycerin, we have niacinamide, we have tranexamic acid, which is a brightening agent, also ascorbic acid for vitamin C. A couple of things I do want to mention, however, is that alcohol is also pretty high up on the ingredient list, and that looks like usually when it's labeled alcohol, it means like SD alcohol. So it's probably not one of those fatty alcohols that it's good for your skin. And also there's grapefruit extract, which I know can bother some people, so I just wanted to put that out there. But let's go ahead and open this up. All right, so here's a look at the packaging. Ooh, it kind of has like a pink jelly kind of consistency. I wasn't expecting that. Usually serums are a little bit more watery. This one's a little bit thicker. And actually, it feels incredibly silky on my skin. It doesn't feel like it has alcohol in it. So, you know, sometimes it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. I know alcohol in some formulas can completely dry your skin out, but in other cases, sometimes they use just a little bit to thin out the formula and make it, you know, absorb a little bit better. So it'll be interesting to see how this reacts on my skin, whether it, you know, makes it a little more dry or not. But so far, this has an incredibly emollient feel. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to be drying at all. So it might actually be okay. I'm not one of those people that feels like alcohol is the kiss of death in a product. It's not always the case. So also, scent-wise, it doesn't seem to have any scent to it at all. So that's another great thing. And then we have the Mini Meow Trio, and this has 3 different masks. This is also made in Korea. And I don't know, the ingredient list is going to be a little bit hard for you guys to read, so you may just want to head over to Ulta and check it out in case you're interested. But this one has the I Do Care Magic Chrome Mask Disco Kitten. And this says it has diamond and pearl powder to illuminate the complexion for a glowing look. Then it has the chrome mask in Sugar Kitten, and that one has ruby powder, pearl powder, rose water, and hyaluronic acid to revitalize dry skin. So Sugar Kitten would definitely be mine. And then we have Space Kitten. This one has charcoal, sapphire, and volcanic ash to cleanse the skin and unclog pores. So that's something that even though I have dry skin, I would still use sometimes around my nose area because I can get some blackheads and things like that from time to time. So here's a look at the little jars. These are really, really cute. So again, Sugar Kitten is probably the one that I think I would use the most just for my dry skin. Let's take a quick look. Oh, whoops. I was kind of half expecting there to be like a little seal on here. All right, so these I believe are just peel off masks. So it's something that you're just gonna put on, let it dry, and then peel it off after a certain amount of time. But I just wanted to see what these look like because they said they had like a chrome texture. How pretty is that? Actually, it looked green in the jar, but now on my skin it actually looks purple with a little bit of a green shift. So that's really pretty. It's kind of fun. Next up we have Disco Kitten. This is the one that was supposed to be more of a brightening mask. And this looks kind of like a pearl white color in the jar. Let's see what it looks like on the skin. Ooh, look how pretty that looks. And then Space Kitten is the one that's supposed to unclog your pores. And this has the charcoal in it, so I figured it was probably going to be black, but it actually has like little, I don't know if it's glitters or if that's the sapphire powder, but it kind of looks like space. So those are really cool. And you could totally mix and match these on your face too. You could always put the black one like just like on your nose area, let's say, and then the illuminating one on your cheek area if you felt like you had some dark spots and things like that. Then you could put this one all over just for, you know, dry skin. So anyway, guys, I'll definitely be testing these out at some point. I don't know if I'll get to it this week or not. I don't always have a lot of time for masking, but at some point, if you guys would like to hear an update on these, I can definitely let you know. Hey guys, it's Friday. I just got a really nice PR package from Revolution Skincare, and they sent over 2 of their new lines. We have a glycolic line and then also a retinol line. And I haven't seen these available at Ulta yet. I don't know if they're coming to Ulta or not, but they're currently on Makeup Revolution's website. And I really like the price points of these. We have almost everything is $14 with a couple of exceptions. The Overnight Glow Cream from the glycolic line is $17, and then also the retinol toner and retinol overnight cream are also $17. But I mean, really, really good prices for skincare. So I'm excited to see what the ingredients look like, and I'm definitely going to be, you know, testing all of this out over the next several weeks. So if you'd like to see something more in depth on these, definitely let me know. I always get tons of questions asking what the best drugstore skincare is. So I'm excited to test this out. So in the glycolic line, you have a mud cleanser, which is supposed to draw out impurities to reveal a healthy glow. And I'm really curious to see how this compares to the Pixi Glow Mud Cleanser, because that one also has glycolic acid and I love that one. Not that that one's too expensive, but this one is definitely a bit cheaper. So I'd be interested to see how it compares. I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand and see what it's like. So it definitely has like that thicker mud texture. It's very creamy. It doesn't have any scent to it. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention. It says on the packaging that these are vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, and made in the UK. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But yeah, this feels really nice. It's super like cushiony, feels hydrating at the same time. So very excited to test this one out. They also have a glycolic polisher to gently exfoliate and reveal a brighter and fresher complexion. Then we have a glycolic 10% serum, and I'm curious about this one too because I have one from The Ordinary, and that one is too strong for me, but the Pixie Glow Tonic, which is also glycolic, is fine. And I think the Pixie one has like 5%, and then actually the Ordinary one I have is 7%. And just that little increase just made it too much for my skin, and it was kind of stinging on my face. So I used the Ordinary one on my body instead to get rid of the KP bumps. So I'm curious to see if this one at 10% is going to be okay for my face, or if I'm going to have to use this one on my body as well. So we'll definitely test it out. Let me just see the ingredients really quick. Yeah, it has water, glycolic acid as the second ingredient. It also has glycerin and niacinamide. But I mean, overall, a very short ingredient list, which I definitely like. There's not a bunch of unnecessary stuff in there. Let me just try a little tiny bit. I'm going to put it on the other hand since I used the cleanser on that one and just see what it feels like. It's a very watery serum, definitely. I'm not noticing any tingling at all, but I feel like my hands are way less sensitive than my face for some reason. So yeah, as I'm kind of massaging it in, it's making my skin feel really, really smooth and silky, which is nice. So I'm excited to try this one for sure. And then the last product in the glycolic line is the Overnight Moisture Cream. And this says a soft and comforting cream to help reveal nourished and illuminated skin. So let me just take a look really quick. Here's a look at the packaging. Oh, I see. So it has a little hole. You're just supposed to like press it down and then the product comes up that way. So let's take a look. So this is, I would say, like a medium weight cream. It's not super thick, but it does feel very cushiony, very comforting on the skin, which is nice. But yeah, this hand feels really nice where I put the Glow Mud cleanser and then the cream on top of it. And this one over here, it also just feels really smooth. Like all the flakes and stuff like that are gone, which is nice. So anyway, that's the glycolic line. Then in the retinol line, we have a cream cleanser, which has rosehip oil and echinacea to help cleanse and nourish the skin. So this is just supposed to be like a really gentle cream cleanser. Then there's a retinol toner. It says it's a refreshing toner water to help refine and resurface the skin. This is actually a really big bottle. How many ounces is this? It's 5 ounces. So I feel like for toners, this would last you a long time. You probably just need like a little bit. Also, there's a retinol serum, and this says it's a light and silky oil blend to help smooth skin tone and texture. So I actually really like that because retinol can be a little bit drying on especially drier skin types. So I like the idea of it being in an oil base because I think that would help to make it a little bit more nourishing on your skin. This has a coconut oil base, it looks like, with grapeseed oil and sweet almond oil, and then the retinol. So let me just put a little bit of this on this hand here so I can see what it feels like. I know there's kind of mixed ideas about using coconut oil in skincare. Coconut can be comedogenic and clog your pores, but I think for somebody like me who has really dry skin and I never ever have issues with breakouts, it's probably okay. I have used coconut oil on my skin before and not had any issues. So I think it just depends on your own skin type and what you're comfortable with. But it's just a really lightweight oil. Like there's almost nothing to it. It feels very dry. I think it's going to soak in really quickly. And then we have an overnight moisture cream in the retinol line as well. And this says it's a velvety cream which helps encourage softer, more even skin. So that's nice as well. This has a glycerin and shea butter base. So again, a really nourishing base with retinol down near the bottom. And this doesn't say actually the percentage of retinol that's in here, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. And then we have the eye cream, which is a luxurious cream texture to help condition the under eye area. So let's take a look at this one. All right, I'm just gonna put a little bit like right here. This has an awesome texture too. If you have dry skin or dry under eyes, this feels very cushiony. It's really nice and thick. This is gonna feel good underneath my eyes for sure. So anyway, guys, I'm going to be testing all of this out over the next several weeks. If you're interested in a follow-up video to see how I like everything, let me know, because again, I know a lot of you are always asking about more affordable skincare. So if that's something you'd like to see, let me know down below. And if you want to check any of this out, it's over on Makeup Revolution's website. All right, guys, so I am back with some final thoughts on things I got a chance to try. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to test out the skincare because a lot of that stuff came in later in the week, and it's Saturday morning when I'm filming this, so I really just didn't get a chance. But I did get a chance to try out some of the makeup, and I'm actually wearing a full face of Lime Crime today, with the exception of my foundation. So I started out with the why can't I say this? I started out with the Greatest Hits Bangers palette, and this one, you know, when I was swatching it, as you guys know, there were some shades that really were not swatching that well because they're more of that topper type of finish, and they actually got hard pan right away, which was kind of annoying. But oh my gosh, the mattes in this palette perform so beautifully. I went in with this shade right here, which is Dreamy, this purple, and put that in my crease, and then on my outer corner I used this burgundy shade, Muse, and the combination of those two colors is just so stunning. And then for my lid, I didn't know what to do because I wanted to use something pink because I'm wearing like a pink sweater today, and this shade Heavenly looked perfect, but every time I tried to pick it up with my finger, it just really wasn't picking up that well, and it just looked like a bunch of glitter. So what I ended up doing is taking a spoolie from one of my eyeshadow brushes and just kind of running it back and forth to pick up some of the powder. And then I just took a flat eyeshadow brush, like one that's meant for packing shadow on your lid, and dipped that in and packed it on that way, and it actually worked out beautifully that way. So I feel like you kind of have to work with these shades a little bit, but I'm overall really loving the result and this eye look in general. You know, it's kind of a bummer that it has so many of those shades in here because I think the mattes are beautiful and the shimmer shades that are regular shimmers are also phenomenal. So this palette is a little bit hit or miss for me, but like I said, I got a pretty good deal on it, so I don't really mind having to work with it that much. And then I'm also wearing the lavender blush today, and I really wasn't sure how lavender blush was going to look on me, but I absolutely love it. It's funny because I almost see a little bit of pink in it once it's on my skin, and I don't know if that's because the pink from my skin is kind of peeking through a little bit, or, you know, kind of mixing with the lavender, but it just looks beautiful, and I think it also paired really well with this eye look. I felt like this was super easy to use also. This formula is not wet, it's not sticky, and it dries to a powder finish as soon as you put it on. I just use my fingers. I don't normally use a brush with cream blushes. I know a lot of you guys do, so you could probably do that as well, but it worked great with my fingers. And then on my lips, I'm wearing the Lip Blaze in the shade Emerald, which was in that little kit of lip products that I got for free. And I not only love this color, which is like a really beautiful kind of dusty mauve, but also the formula. This formula feels completely unlike a lip gloss. It's not sticky, it's not goopy. It feels really, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost kind of like a primer sort of feel, where it just feels really silky and kind of smooth, and it's really kind of interesting and unique. So I thought this was really cool. I would definitely check out some more colors of this. It seems to last a long time too. I tried it out for the first time yesterday and was wearing it around, and it seemed to kind of stain my lips, and after a while, I couldn't really feel it on my lips anymore. It kind of had worn away, but the color was still there. So I don't know, overall, pretty impressed with this so far. And then last but not least, I also tried the Laura Geller Spackle Concealer this week, and I'm really impressed with this formula. This is kind of becoming my favorite concealer. I used it every single day this week, and I got it earlier in the week, like on Tuesday, I wanna say. And it's just such a beautiful product. It really just looks like skin under your eyes. I didn't have problems with it creasing in my under eye area at all. I usually don't have issues with that though, so I can't really tell you how it's gonna work for you, but for me, I love how it looks smooth under my eyes and it doesn't look dry, it doesn't look cakey. a good medium coverage concealer for sure. So anyway, guys, that's everything. If you'd like to see more on anything you saw in today's video, let me know. I know that this month I'm pretty much doing my 2020 roundups. I haven't been doing a lot of reviews lately, but I'll definitely put them on the list for the new year. So anyway, thanks guys so much for just taking some time out of your Sunday to spend it here with me. I really, really appreciate it. And if you hadn't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit that button as well. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.